Hello, today we're going to do another dish today, which is salmon in a green peppercorn sauce with rice and asparagus. So first of all, we're going to start with the rice, dead easy. Small pan, teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of basmati rice, 2 cups of boiling water, bring it back to the boil, lid on, and we're going to cook for 20 minutes. And that's your rice. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to concentrate on the sauce for the fish. This is a rich dish, so that's the reason why we're having simple sides, so plain boiled rice and just plain green steamed asparagus, so that's how we're doing. To go through an ingredients list, because I've been asked to do this, 4 pieces of salmon, 1 onion, which is nicely finely chopped. We'll need brandy, white wine, chicken stock, and fresh cream. So, and as well with these, which are green peppercorns. Now they're not dried, these are actually pickled in a brine. So the brine adding salt is actually going to add flavour to your sauce in the end. So I'm just finishing off chopping this onion finely. So onions have gone in the pan, tablespoon of olive oil, on with the heat, and a medium heat here, and all that we're doing is we're going to fry the onions until they are translucent. We don't want them browning because that will mess up the sauce. So the idea is just to get some of the bitterness out of the onions, caramelise a few sugars, make them go translucent. So I'm going to start doing that now. So the onions are beginning to go translucent now. In fact, these ones have gone a little bit brown, which is one I wasn't wanted, but it'll do. They are, it was while I was skinning the fish. So anyway, they've gone colourless, translucent. We're going to start by adding layers of flavour to the sauce. So first of all, we add in, so the sauce is comprised of 1 onion, tablespoon of olive oil, cooked. Brandy, 1 tablespoon, white wine, 4 tablespoons, chicken stock, 8 tablespoons or 8 ounces. So it's going to be 1 ounce of brandy, 4 ounces of white wine, and 8 ounces of chicken stock. So let's start with this. There's the brandy. White wine and chicken stock. You see again, a lot of fluid, so what do we have to do? Whack up the heat to high, so we're going to reduce the heat down to do nothing. So while this is reducing, the next stage now is to take the green peppercorns. Now, I put quite a bit of this in because I think that they have an absolutely great flavour. So, a good 2 tablespoons of green peppercorns. Now, before I put these in here you go, mortar and pestle. There's 2 ways to do this sauce. What we can do is reduce the sauce down. It's going to make the onions mushy, and then you could liquidize the onion fluid mixture if you wanted to, put it back in the pan, and then finish it off like we're going to do. I actually prefer the sauce to be a little bit rougher, so I leave my onions just chopped up, and then as I stir they tend to mush up into the sauce a little bit. So I think that that's actually a nicer effect. So take your mortar and pestle, squeeze or bruise your peppercorns here, so you're smashing some of them, not all of them. The idea is you're pressing them apart so they will release some of their peppery goodness. And remember as well, the brine that they were in is actually going to add salt to this sauce, so there's going to be very, very little seasoning adjustment required. Okay? So I haven't created a sauce, I've created something like that. It sort of looks like mashed green caviar, I suppose, and mashed mushy peas. This will go into the sauce like this. So I've reduced it now to about half. Peppercorns are in. All of those go in. Like this. So we leave some of them whole because they're going to make a nice picture on the sauce, on the fish when it's actually done, and then we're good to go. The last thing that we're going to do, turn down the heat and add in whipping cream. And we're going to add in about 6 tablespoons or 6 ounces of whipping cream here. Now make it quite a lot of sauce. There you go. And then what we're going to do is turn this to a very low heat on a low burner. And we're just going to let that bubble away, like you can see there. We'll bring it to the boil and then we'll let it bubble away. We're going to let it bubble for about 30 minutes. So in the intermediate time we can get everything else done. Rice will be ready, greens will be ready, sauce is the last thing. This will reduce down to be nice and thick and then it's good. Okay, so I've skinned the salmon and I have 4 nice pieces of salmon here, and I'm going to just season them with salt and pepper, which I've just done before. I have 2 tablespoons of olive oil in the pan here, which I'm getting pretty hot, and what I'm going to do is put the salmon into the pan so we seal on one side to start. So I'm going to keep it up on this high heat for the time being. Again, what we're doing is we're going to seal it. Now, when you're cooking salmon, salmon is a weird fish to cook in the fact that if you cook it too fast, you're going to get a white albumin come out the side, which isn't particularly nice. So the idea is here is that we're just going to sear the fish on one side to keep the juices in, rather like cooking a piece of meat. We're going to whack the heat completely down, turn them and cook them for about 4 to 5 minutes on each side, so you can just touch the salmon to make sure it's cooked through. So let me do this now, and then we can start the timer. 1, 2, 3. So I've reduced the heat down now, which is my largest, hottest burner. I've reduced that down to low, and I'm going to let them cook on one side now for 4 minutes. Okay, so what we're going to do now is prep asparagus. Asparagus is really easy. I'm taking just a handful of asparagus. There's probably 12 ounces there for 2 people. We're going to cut off the woody ends all the way through, pop them in a bowl, wash them in cold water. Salt and pepper. And then I'm going to wrap them in cling film and microwave for 2 minutes. I'm giving my sauce a stir, and you can see that that's thickening up nicely. The 20 minutes for the rice is done, so all that I've done is switch that off, and now we're ready to turn the salmon. So I have these really big spatulas which work great. Okay, so it's turned, and I'm increasing the heat up now to medium, so that we get a nice little bit of a crispy crust on the outside of the fish. I quite like that, so that's the reason why I'm doing it. Asparagus is in the microwave ready to pop, and we're virtually ready to be eating dinner. So once this is done, we're going to let it rest on the plate, finish off the sauce, jobs are good. So we've done 4 minutes now with the salmon. I'm going to turn them for just 1 more minute, just to make them a little bit more golden, like they are on this side. So 4 nice pieces of salmon there. Sauce is bubbling really, really nicely. I'm going to take off my rice. I'm going to flake my rice. So that's ready to go. This will be ready to go in 2 minutes. And then now I'm virtually ready to plate up. So in 40 seconds the microwave's going to beep, I'm going to get some plates and then I'm going to start plating. Okay, so asparagus is done, which is great and easy. That should be really, really nice and al dente, and we're ready to plate. So, spoonful of rice, a nice piece of salmon, which we'll put like this. Asparagus, and finally we're going to sauce. Maybe one little bit more. And there you go. We have salmon in a green peppercorn sauce with rice and asparagus.